Hey everybody. So I wanted to touch on a couple of things with everyone tonight. It's Sabbath over, and I'm not sure where to start. I always have all these thoughts, and then when I turn the camera on, everything flies right out of my head like it was never there. So I made a couple notes. Hopefully that helps. So first I want to read a scripture actually. 1 John 5:3. And it says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous or burdensome." This is the King James Version. People say it doesn't matter. I disagree. Because if God is supposed to be, which I believe he does, interpret the scripture for us, I think we can handle reading a little King James. I'm not afraid of that. But outside of that, other versions tend to leave out, things that I consider important, which I'm not going to go into that right now. So I wanted to go over the 10 Commandments, but I first wanted to also talk about Friday night for me. I hope this isn't disjointed. I always find it interesting when people talk about the 10 Commandments, so it's already disjointed, because I said I was going to start with Friday night. So I'll do that. So many of us work all week, and which I do for now, and by Friday night I am done. I am just so done, and I look forward to Friday night all the time now. I used to look forward to it also, but it was for a different reason. I'll go into my testimony in another video, but I just could not wait to get home and wait to put on some soothing hymns, very calming, and just hang out with the King. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? And it was awesome. I had hymns on for like 4 hours. I had no idea that it was that long, but I was reading a book about the mark of the beast, which we'll get into that too. That's hot, so we'll get into that. But I read the whole book, and all of a sudden it was like 11. That's at least 2 hours past my bedtime. So I just couldn't wait. And I hated to go to bed because it was just such a relief to not have to worry about anything. I didn't have to worry about doing errands. I didn't have to worry about going and... I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to go anywhere. I don't understand why people want to shy away from this whole keeping the Sabbath holy issue. It's such a relief. It's the best. I don't want to be, I can't think of the word. Well, God obviously knew that we were going to need recharging, and he designed it so that we could recharge with him. I mean, he is the giver of life, after all. Who wouldn't want to be plugged into him for 24 hours? I mean, it's absurd to think that we don't need that. Who are we to say we don't need what God knew we were going to need and gave us? He gave it to all of his creations, not just here, but all other creations that he made, other worlds and things of that nature. I'm not talking about E.T., people. Calm down. But he knew we were going to need that. He wanted that time with us, and I fought that for decades. And it's just insanity to fight that. I'm just so I'm so grateful that I found it and that he pulled me back and showed this to me. I don't know why it seemed to hit me more last night than before, but it was just such a relief. Now, unfortunately, I overslept this morning, but it's been a wonderful Sabbath all day with him and Bible and church, and it's just been awesome. So I just wanted to give that testimony because you don't have to be afraid of Sabbath. It's not a bad word. It's not Saturday. It's not a pagan day. The Creator made it for us to benefit us. It's a benefit. So I wanted to share that, and I hope it encourages somebody. You won't be the same once you recognize that. There is not a fiber in me that wants to go out into the world and do whatever they feel that they have. On Saturday, nothing. Zero. So it's been a wonderful Sabbath. I wish it was more than one day, but in heaven it'll be for forever, so that'll be awesome too. So when I was thinking about discussing the Ten Commandments, and the fourth one in particular, I came across, in the book I was reading last night, I came across commandments that have been changed. The Roman Catholic Church took out the second commandment, which was about idols. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, nor any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Anybody want to guess why they took it out? Have you looked at any of their cathedrals? They're full of idols. Mother Mary and all that. Which isn't really Mary. If you look into the history, they're all pagan gods that they renamed. So they took that one out, which then made the fourth commandment, which is about the Sabbath, the third commandment. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I know why they want to take the Sabbath commandment out, because now they're starting to infuse pop culture with the word Sabbath, but it's really Sunday. So they're misnaming things, and it's just like the enemy to sprinkle his malarkey into truth. And that's what makes him so dangerous, you see, because if the truth and if truth and false, there's only a sliver of difference between the two, it's almost next to impossible for those who aren't studying to know the difference, or to go back into history and understand why these things were changed. In order to keep 10 commandments, the Roman Catholics divided the 10th into two about coveting. They think that coveting items versus coveting someone's spouse were separate enough. We can make them two and then keep 10. But beyond, that's a whole nother study that I want to talk about. But Christians today talk about, well, you know, the law, nailed to the cross, all that stuff. But people know it's wrong to kill and steal and take God's name in vain. So I'm touching on both sides of the commandments, the ones that have to do with handling your neighbor, man, one person to another type of thing, and those dealing with God. So it is important. It is important. It wasn't nailed to the cross. People do go around killing each other and taking God's name in vain and the rest of it, but everyone knows that's not how you're supposed to act. Those aren't acceptable behaviors. So the Ten Commandments were not nailed to the cross. You see, it was the Levitical law about sacrifices and all these things that were given to Moses, all those written laws that God gave to Moses to write down to govern the Israelites. Those were the laws that were nailed to the cross when Christ died on the cross. He's our sacrifice. Those laws were a foreshadowing of things to come, which was Jesus when he came and died on the cross for us. So, but his commandments aren't grievous. I don't understand the mentality of those who fight them. The fourth one is unto itself important for the things I've already said, but I don't understand the point of fighting them. They're not great. From people that say they're Christians, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about from people who are not Christians. I'll just put it that way. So I don't I don't get it. I'm looking for some dialogue, I guess, about why that is. I have a lot of scriptures from the New Testament that talk about the need to keep the commandments there, and particularly the fourth is a perpetual. The commandments are a perpetual covenant. If you break one, you break the entire law. So they're spoken of in the New Testament after Christ died on the cross. All the disciples talked about keeping the law still. They talk about grace, yes, because without grace, there would be no chance. We could keep the Ten Commandments all day long, but without grace, we would never be saved. So they are important. It's a matter of life and death, really. So I just wanted to touch on that and make a short video. I'm trying to prepare a better study, a better discussion about what's going on. I want to touch on the mark of the beast and the dragon and the second beast and all of that in Revelation, because when I watch YouTube's out there, when people who again call themselves Christians and they're talking about the mark of the beast and such, and they discuss, the chip in the hand or whatever, that's not it. It's not a chip. It's just not. It's not a barcode. It's not an ID card. It's nothing electronic. It's not. I promise. Now, we all know that Revelation 13 talks about when the mark of the beast is enforced, we won't be able to buy or sell. And that might be controlled with electronic finances. That is how it will happen. The world's moving to a worldwide electronic monetary system. So as soon as they crash the American economy, forget it. That's when it's going to be, everyone's going to be on the same system. So when those of us who have God's seal and not the mark of the beast, we will not be able to buy or sell. And it'll be controlled via electronics. So just to give you a little clue on the people that are sealed, and not have the mark of the beast? Revelation 13:17 says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ." Keep the commandments of God. Revelation 14:12 is another clue. It says, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." So in Revelation, in 2 places, the Bible tells us who the people are that will have God's seal and won't be able to buy or sell. It'll be the people who keep the commandments of God. So I don't have to be right, but the Bible's right, and those who pretend that the commandments don't matter, they'll be able to buy and sell until the plagues fall, and they probably won't care about buying or selling. But they won't be keeping the commandments of God, so no God's seal. Jesus is coming. He's coming soon. Yeah. A lot of signs, lots of things to tell you guys about. He's coming soon. You have to have a seal. Get ready. Get ready. I'll see you.